And hey, if you don't know, let me tell you that every Tuesday and Thursday we'll be doing something related to insecurity in Nigeria. It's very, very important. We'll be talking insecurity in Nigeria. But hey, before we continue, Nigeria has been grappling with insecurity challenges for over a decade, with the emergence of Boko Haram terror group and rising crime rates in the country. Nigeria's security challenges began in 2009 with the emergence of the Boko Haram terror groups in the country's northeast regions, and it has since spread across other regions. Now, besides Boko Haram, which has been misusing religion for subversive activities, armed gangs, kidnappers, and separatist groups have exacerbated the security situation in Nigeria. Now, the conflict between cattle herders and farmers, the presence of the Shia Islamic movement of Nigeria, the one you call IMN in central Nigeria, the Niger Delta Vigilante, which is the NDA, and of course, the IPOB in the southeast part of the country, the Boko Haram or Islamic State of West Africa province ISWAP, in the northeast, all disrupt the peace of the country. Despite several operations to prevent terror group attack on civilians, kidnappings for ransom, and school attacks, the Nigerian government has yet to find a genuine solution to the country's security dilemma. However, today we will narrow today's discussion, to an angle that is related to the police, especially, excuse me, in Lagos State, Nigeria. I am talking about the level of trust Nigerians have in the police authorities today. I have a retired commissioner of police in the studio. Mm, for me, I call him CP Chuks. But when you hear his voice, he will tell you if there are other names that follows. Yeah, I will be discussing insecurity in Nigeria with the CP, like I told you, every Tuesday and Thursday from 12:30 to 1 p.m. That is 30 minutes talk time. Now, good afternoon, CP. Good afternoon to you, Sire.
To you, and good afternoon to the listeners.
I mentioned your name. I said CP Choose. Are there other, you want to add to that?
Chuks Former is the name.
And one.
Yes.
Okay. CP, sir, we only have a few minutes to talk.
Yes.
And we want to take it one step at a time. I want you to respond to the issue of the illegal arrest of persons by the police authority, especially road users in Lagos. A whole lot of questions have been coming from that direction. Police just meet you and arrest you for, doing nothing, according to them. So I want you to quickly just answer this question. What would you say? What's going on? Like, the police, Nigerians or Lagosians are actually scared of the Nigerian police force, road users especially.
Well, they don't need to be scared. The police is the appropriate authority in charge of security. Police would not just arrest people indiscriminately without a reason. And anybody that is law abiding should subject himself to questioning by the police. Even I, who had been in the system, while I was in the system and even now, from time to time, I am stopped by police for routine checks and questioning. And in Judges Rule 7, the policeman can make arrests if there is cause to do that, especially if there is breach of public peace.
Okay.
Or there is suspicion that an area is not so safe, that the place has been infiltrated by criminal elements. So they can just do a mass arrest. But Where the thin line comes in is they don't need to pick the people and go and dump them, indiscriminately.
But they
And
do, but they do that instead.
let me land.
Okay.
They are not supposed to do that. They are supposed to quickly profile those persons. And if there's no reason to keep them, they let them go. It shouldn't take so much time. The profiling will range from what do you do, what is your mission around this area, and so on and so forth. If you give them satisfactory answer, you get on and go your way. But if you begin to jump from pillar to post and you cannot reasonably explain yourself, he can keep you longer, but not longer than necessary. If he has any reason to do further investigation, he should properly charge you and thereafter take you to court for further judicial action. He has no reason whatsoever to keep you indefinitely. Yes.
So what would you want Nigerians to do or people to do when caught in this web?
Oh, that's good. That is the awareness there. They need to, in their locality, get across to the nearest police station. If they look at the wall of the stations, they'll see the divisional police officer's number. It's inscribed all over the place. So that when you find yourself in tight corner, you place a call immediately within that area to the divisional police office. And that number should not only be held by you, it will also be shared amongst your relations and friends, so that in the event of such an unexpected thing coming up, you call your closest person and say, see where I am, or see what is going on, so that you people should try as much as possible and as fast as possible too, to get across to the DPO or any of the police authorities. DPO may not be there, he may be in for a briefing somewhere, so the next most senior man there in the station should take up from there.
Okay. Now, CP, I don't know the last time you visited the Korodu area.
No, it's been a while. The traffic there is scary. That's why I hardly go to that axis.
Okay.
That place, Badagry and Ekpe, it's something else.
There's somewhere called My 12.
Okay? Yeah, I know of Mile 12.
Okay.
Yes. After
There's
K2.
Exactly.
Yes.
After the bridge, when you move forward a little,
Exactly.
there is this BRT lane.
Okay.
I want to take you up on this. There's this
Go ahead.
BRT lane and, the lane everyone is supposed to use.
Yes.
Now, on that particular, is it a junction? I'll call it now. I don't know, but in that particular spot, on that spot, rather,
Yes.
you discover that there is no inscription of any sort telling you this is BRT lane and this is the lane everyone is supposed to use.
Okay.
But you find policemen stationed there and arresting people.
Okay.
Such a place is also around Okoko.
Okay.
I think Iba Junction, right?
I know
you know this, yeah.
Yes, I know the areas you're
And
mentioning.
police arrest people for me, I would say, is for an unjust cause. For me,
Okay.
it is an unjust cause.
Okay.
What would you have to say?
The police is a human being. He has blood running in his vein, and he cannot just be arresting people. That means those people must have been violating the traffic rules and regulations of Lagos State government. Like that of Ikorodu you've just mentioned. The lanes had been marked, had been issued, and everybody would have known that that lane is restricted for the big buses, the Lagos BRT buses. But you see people try to play the fast one to violate because there is so much traffic. They will think that it is an opportunity and as an excuse for them to apply those lanes without realizing that the eyes of the law is there watching. So when they violate, the next thing the police will do is just to pick them. Because, when you violate, 70,000 is going to come off your pocket to the purse of Lagos State government.
See,
That's
this point I'm talking about,
Yes.
there's nothing telling you not to use a BRT lane. Nothing.
No, 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 but it's of common knowledge now. Lagosians are aware. In fact, they've been
I've
announcing.
fallen victim. That's why I'm asking you. And
Okay.
some other persons too.
Let me even tell you, somebody like there's one of these presenters in Arise Television. I can't remember his name. He sports sunglasses.
Yeah.
He's always featuring.
Okay.
They got him. Even the social media covered it, and he ended up paying 70,000. Though he fled, he was really angry. But at the end of the day, he did the needful. There's no need people pretending as if they don't know that there are certain rules and regulations of government. So we need to, those lanes, I mean, it's only people on emergency, maybe ambulance, apart from the BRT buses, or maybe the military or the police or any of those security agencies on emergency. Maybe there's distress call, that even fire service. That's the way it is done overseas, and I think that's the same thing the Lagos state government copied. You cannot find them hold emergency, that is ambulance or fire service for entering BRT. I mean, unless if the road is free, those people will follow the road, of course. But if the road is completely blocked and there is a inferno somewhere, and lives need to be rescued, they use BRT. Even overseas, it's not that way. Or police is responding to emergency with their patrol teams. They join the BRT lanes, so nobody will question them.
Have you also visited that area around Okoko that I mentioned? Do you
Well,
know about that spot?
of recent, I've not been there. You know, since they started that road construction, going that way has always been crazy. So it's been a while. The max I had gone was, I think, International Trade Fair satellite area. Beyond that, I've not been there recently.
Okay. All right. I understand that some persons will also want to ask one or two questions.
Let them go ahead.
Like I said, we'll
Yeah.
take it one step at a time.
No problem.
Gradually, because we've got several questions, to put out to you.
I am there.
Let's give out this number now quickly to Nigerians so they can be part of the conversation.
It's all right.
0700 903 903 903. I have with me a former commissioner of police. All right, and in case you want to probably ask one or two questions, you're free to do so. Right now. Okay. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. Hello, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon. Hello. Uh-oh. Okay, please call me back. Just call me back, okay? 0700 903 903 903 is the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon to you. Oh my God. Okay. I guess network. I also want to ask you, CP, please. Whose duty is it? Let's do this. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm calling concerning the matter you were talking about.
Okay.
My name is Peter.
Okay.
I'm calling from Ikeja.
You're welcome.
There are some policemen that is always on this Ogudu route too. It's not they are from Ogudu police station. They are always on that Ogudu bridge. Not how will I describe that place that you understand? That would be like as if you're going to K2, the bridge on the top, before Chinese. Chinese something, I've forgotten that name. They're always there disturbing people. Always there. They should help us look into that place. And it still doesn't stop all these little boys to be rubbing around there. They'll just be seeing them like this. They'll just be exalting people around.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, do. Yeah.
Yeah, my response to that is that I don't know specifically the point you're making reference to, but be that as it may, you realize that police usually do their routine patrols and stop and search and all that They don't really pin down, but they do during peak period. What we mean by peak period is when people would have closed from work
Okay.
and they are going home. That is the time you have traffic. And once the traffic builds up, some of those miscreants and hoodlums take advantage of the traffic to begin to attack innocent people in their vehicles, going home from their various offices. But with the presence of the police, it serves as deterrent.
Okay.
Yes, it serves as deterrent. And this thing usually happens between 4 p.m. in the evening till around 8, 9 in some of those areas. You notice that some places where you have bush and maybe swamp or wet areas, that is the areas these people come out and see if there's no police presence, they can start attacking commuters, collecting their phones, their laptops, iPad, and their bags and all that, valuables, watch, necklace, and so on and so forth. So that before you say Jack Robinson, they'll just jump off the divide, the concrete divide, and disappear into thin air. But you notice that these policemen will just stand there. They are not disturbing anybody. You even see them hardly stop vehicles. They are only there watching movements. That's what they normally do. Though if they suspect certain vehicles, like if you see a vehicle carrying about 5 hefty men looking suspicious, as a policeman, you have cause to stop them and tell them to come down. Ask them who they are. You can check their boots, check the vehicle. If you're satisfied, you let them go.
Okay. 0703903. Hello.
Hello?
Good afternoon. Can you move away from your radio set? It's so noisy there. It's so noisy. Please just find a silent place, all right? And call us back. Good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Can you hear me? Please call me back. CP,
Yes.
is it really the duty of the police to check vehicle papers or the VIO?
Well, I don't know.
I want us to be candid about
Yes,
this, please.
yes. I don't know the business the VIO has in checking vehicles.
Really?
Yes. But go and check the laws. Okay, granted that the Lagos State government has probably through their usual edicts empowered them. But that empowerment is to a certain limit. They really overstep their bounds. I have never been a victim anyway, but people have been calling me and I keep correcting those VIOs, especially if they pick the phone to talk to me. You find out that some of them have no training. Professional training, that's what I mean, not family or background training. The last mile is even better than the VIOs. Because how can you stop a private vehicle and begin to ask him driving license, motor vehicle license, this and that and this? To the extent that some of them are even ignorant. You stop a private vehicle, you are asking him to bring this, what do you call it? To bring, what name are they using again?
Roadworthiness?
Roadworthiness and all that. What does he have to do with roadworthiness? That paper is meant for commercial vehicles. That is why I say they are not even, they don't have that training. What the people that should check,
But they are vehicle inspection officers.
it is vehicles they should inspect, not the papers of the vehicle. Especially private vehicles. They don't have any business with private vehicles. If anybody is to check private vehicles, it's the police and road safety corps. Then, by extension, LASMA, if you have violated the rules or the regulations of the state government. Not, VIO should be checking those carrying foodstuff and carry these, what do you call them, pickups and vans. Not for you to stop and be harassing and embarrassing private vehicle owners. That's not their duty. I stand to be corrected. Yes, that is where the public should stand up to ask them questions. And I'm sure if this is subject to,
Are you saying this because you are, a policeman?
well, I have been in the system for over 30 years. I have done trainings. I had been commissioner of police in a state. So I know all those things. I have them in my fingertips. And that is why I keep putting them through and guiding them when some people are overstepping their bounds. The VIOs, they need to take them back and retrain them. Granted, part of their problem is that they are giving targets to raise revenue for the state. Then in the process, a lot of members of the public, they overstep their bounds and step on their toes. For their superiors or their supervising officers, I think those ones are much more exposed. They are lettered and have some training, some level of training. Because on one or two occasions, I've spoken to their bosses. Those ones were able to understand where I was coming from, and they guided them accordingly. But the other older ones, if you look at them, many of them would have worked somewhere and retired. They are just using that one as a meet-up to get extra income. So they just enter the road anyhow and be parking vehicles, lining vehicles up, and so on and so forth. That's inappropriate, and sometimes even causing traffic.
CP,
Yes.
thank you so much. But then, you spoke about the last man.
Yes.
Currently, some Nigerians will tell, or Lagosians will tell you, they don't know the difference between the last man and the policeman.
They are two different places. They are two different
We don't
agencies.
know what are their duties. What are they supposed to do?
Mm-hmm.
Can we highlight their differences?
Well, number one, the last man,
Because you find out that the last man is doing the job of a policeman.
they are complementing
And-
it. They are really complementing each other. They even work
Please tell us more.
side by side. Well, last man is to ensure free flow of traffic. That's what they do.
Just that.
Yes. And then when people violate, they give them papers and give them reason why they are giving them the papers. Sometimes they cover it with video or with their cameras or phone, so that if you want to argue further, even if it goes to court, they can come and tender that in the mobile court as evidence of your infringement or violation. So they have really improved over the years. There was a time they were arbitrary. They were doing things. They even enter your vehicle, begin to drive your vehicle. Some of them who are not even licensed, who cannot even drive, will go and
To drive.
Yes, they can even go and hit your vehicle get it accidented into either stationary vehicle or moving vehicles because they were being overzealous. But I think they have trained them over time and sift the wheat from the chaff, Now they really behave themselves. You see them, they don't harass anybody.
We're still talking about the differences
Okay.
between the last man and the policeman.
Well, the policeman you see there, two of them, so long as he's in the traffic section of the police or he's in operations, which is patrols, his own area of coverage or responsibility is wider because the ban in traffic does not usually bear firearms. His own is traffic offenses, which is more or less civil-related offenses. The ones that are carrying arms are not doing traffic checks. They are more or less on anti-crime patrols. That is what I mean by operations.
Okay.
So their own is when they suspect you, they'll stop you check your boot, check your person, check the vehicle, and then let you go. If they see things incriminating, that means you may likely have to end up in the station. So you find out that the traffic policeman is not even checking your boot, or he only looks for your papers to see whether at least whether the papers are genuine. If they are all correct, including the license, the motor vehicle license, and so on and so forth, he lets you go. But the man of anti-crime can go to the extent of asking for the ownership of the vehicle, and so on. If he feels he's not convinced, then maybe you may get to the station to explain further. So you can see the line is really close. There are certain things that would overwhelm the last man. They'll call police for assistance.
Okay.
Police attention. Especially if those drivers are getting out of hand. That's why a good number of times you see them walking side by side. The armed policemen will just park somewhere and be watching so that nobody assaults or brutalizes the last mile officials, because they are not there on their own. They are there on the instructions of the government.
Thank you,
that they
CP.
work for.
Thank you, CP.
Thank you.
We have to go now. Like I said, we'll take it gradually.
Yeah.
He will always be with me. In case you're listening, yeah, the CP Chuks will always be here on Tuesdays and Thursdays, yeah, from 12:30 to 1 p.m. Okay, 12:30 to 1 p.m. every Tuesday and Thursday. Just all I am saying is pile up your questions. Arrange them very well, neatly, because he's here to answer all of these questions. All right?
Yes.
State questions, okay, national questions,
Yes.
State questions,
Yes.
local questions,
Exactly.
and all of them.
Exactly.
He's here to answer all of them. Thank you so much, sir, for coming.
You're welcome.
This is Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. I won't be able to take your calls, okay? Like I said, Tuesday, just join me, okay? I can see several calls coming in, but then let's do this on Tuesday from 12:30 to 1 p.m. All right? Stay there. It's Matters on VOP, and my name is Jude Ikami Jude. Something big is coming, all right? In a couple of minutes, I will be back on air, and some very important personalities will be here with me again, and we're talking about something. You don't want to miss this. Just stay right there. I'll be right back.